Okay, so I bought these today. These are the LED lights that have 8 or 9 different lighting settings. They're a sort of warm white, which is exactly what I wanted, and they're mounted on wires with a remote control that works on both at the same time, which is very handy. So what do I need them for? Well, here's a very rough dummy. Just some basic bandages, no weathering going on, rubber mask, which is not bad for a very cheap mask. For a background mummy, he'd be quite nice. So basically, I've wrapped him up to stand in for our mummy performer. And basically, what I'm going to do now is set up a camera. But let's get the lights on him first. So, I'm going to start putting the lights onto him. So imagine the scene where our performer is getting into scrapes with our heroes, or in this case our heroine, and then she scrabbles around on the floor and comes across a lighter. Well, as we all know, mummies are dry and flammable. So if I can get this out, wow, there's a lot of stuff going on here. Wow, I thought I might need 2, but it looks like 1 might be enough, but we'll see how it goes. I've got to get to the other end first, so I've got to try and untangle all this. Actually, what I'm going to do, because it's so ridiculously long and tangled, I'm going to cut here until I've got this one wrapped around the head. Okay, I've closed the doors and curtains a little bit so we can get some light. Wrapped 1 coil of, or 1 set of lights around, switch him on using the remote control. Hey, right, okay, let's go through the settings. Number 1, whatever that is. Number 2, okay. Number 3, not great. Number 4, well, that's a sort of glow. 5, 6, I think my favorite is actually 7. Here it is. Lucky number 7. Yeah, now that looks a bit frenetic, but with a second, let's move the camera, with a second set around him, see the light that he puts on me? That's good enough, I think, through a camera. It's not so bright in real life, but through a camera it's super bright. That's going to be enough ambient light for me to be fighting off mummy with head on fire, and we comp the flames on top of that. I'll just check number 8. That's a continuous. So we got some pretty good ambient light there. Let's go back to 7. Yeah, that's the crazy mental one. Now, just for the fun of it, I'm going to wrap another one around, which is going to take hours to take off. Might need to find some way of keeping these in place and putting them on and off quickly rather than going 10 minutes of wrapping, because they are on copper wire and they're tricky. But let's knock that off for now. See how dark it is? Right, I'm going to pause here, put another set on. By the way, as an aside, these are one of the canopic jars which are made in transparent resin. This could be painted and then sanded off a little bit in case we want them to give them the whole mysterious kind of glow, which is quite nice. Obviously, it would only be showing through the paint that we've sanded, but I'm going to move. It's fading out. Not flashy, but that kind of thing. It's quite nice, isn't it? The whole... Wait, bit too much. Anyway, that is actually bubbling. You can just about see that there. It's going through a number of cycles. But works quite well, doesn't it? Especially for something red hot. Anyway, let's knock that off. Carry on. Okay, that's 2 sets on and running. So plenty of flicker on me. Ambient light all the way around. And he's got a bit of a dead patch in the back of the head, but we're not too worried about that. Problem with this working on both sets of lights, I'm not sure if it will cycle through. 1, 2, actually, if I turn one set off, right, both sets off, so we'll turn that set on, and we'll get that on the number 7, I think it was. I don't like that back and forth thing. Let's just do a soft glow for now. Right, turn this set on. Ooh, bit gentle, I think. Let's go 2. It's a nice kind of glow. I think for an action scene though, if his head is on fire and there's a lot of fast movement, it would be more like 7 all the way round, because that's what fire tends to do. And if I can do 7 on this one, yeah, it's pretty frenetic. And obviously you're not going to see most of this because it will have flames comped on top of it. But if I'm fighting this guy, and also he's sort of running around the place, or at least staggering off into the distance, I think there's enough to track there for a mummy with his head on fire. Yeah, we're going to have to think of a good way of getting all these on easily and more comfortably for the performer. Some kind of stitch them onto a balaclava or something. But other than that, they work as good as, look, put it this way, this is what I planned to do from the beginning, inspired by the film Watchmen with Dr. Manhattan, where they put Billy Crudup in a blue LED suit that cost millions of dollars. These sets, this full set of lights cost me £2 plus batteries, right? And again, ambient light flickering onto me provides a light source for CG people to track composited flames. And of course, it's cold, it's not hot. 2 sets of 3 AA batteries. And we have a mummy who I shall term Bernie. This will be Bernie on set. So sorry about the poor performer who's got to wear this, but it's going to look cool, trust me. There you go.